everyone, it's Maria and welcome to another art class. Today, our crafts are going to be inspired by the medieval times period. So this was a point in history where you would see things like knights and castles and jokers and sword fights, a lot of the things you see in movies today. So for our first craft, we're going to make a cardboard sword. For that, I'm going to use some scraps of cardboard, scissors, markers, glue, and some beads. For our second craft, we're going to make a joker hat. And for that, all you need is some construction paper, some tape, and some scissors. For our last craft, we're going to make an aluminum foil shield. So, you'll need a piece of cardboard, some aluminum foil, both a glue stick and liquid glue, some permanent markers, and a Q-tip. Hope you guys enjoy! For our first craft, we're going to make a cardboard sword. So I'm going to take my two pieces of cardboard and lay them together like the letter T. Then I'm going to take my glue and attach them. At home, you're probably using white liquid glue, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. So I want to just put a little bit of glue on one end, close to the edge, and connect that to my other piece. Make sure you don't connect it all the way because we're going to turn the leftover piece into a handle. So right now, you should see that there's connection right here and the rest is all open. If you're using the white glue, you're going to want to be patient and give it some time to dry before moving on to the next step. So once the glue settles, I'm going to take my marker and I'm just going to draw the lines of where I'm eventually going to cut. So this part is going to be my sword. So I'm going to start from the center and draw a line across the corner and do the same on the other side. There. So now for our handle, I'm going to take one line about the same width as our sword and do the same on the other side and connect it all the way out. This is going to turn into our handle. So once I have the lines drawn and they're where I want them to be, I can take my scissors and start cutting along those lines. If you get to this point and you want the handle to be a little bit bigger, you can flip it over and see how much room you have left, and you can make it a little bit bigger. Do the same on the other side. And there you go. You can get those scraps out of the way. So here is my sword. So now I'm going to take my markers and color it in. I'm going to use gray because I want it to look like a real sword, but you can use any color you want. I'm also going to color my handle gray. All right, almost done. Ooh, that came out dark. All right, once you get it all colored however you want to, you can put your markers away. Then we're gonna glue our beads to it. Our beads are gonna resemble the jewels that knights and kings would have on their handle of their swords. So again, if you're using white glue, you're gonna wanna be patient before you pick it up to make sure all the beads or the jewels are glued on securely. But I'm going to continue to use my hot glue gun just for the sake of time. So I'm gonna glue these beads right onto the part where I'm not gonna hold on, just to give it some decoration. Also, if you don't want to use beads, you can just continue with your markers and draw whatever you would like on them. So one side down. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you could try to make a design out of the jewels. All right, one more. I'm looking at it right now, and I think I want to add a few more up here. I'll do one more right here. So there you go. That is my final product of a sword. For our second craft, we're gonna make our Joker hats. So I'm gonna start by taking a piece of construction paper and cutting right down the middle. I wanna do this the long way so that I can make it big enough so it fits around my head. There. So once it's cut, I'm gonna tape the two ends together. Then I'm going to take the other ends and bring them together to make a circle. There. So this is going to be the part that goes on my head. I'm going to set that aside so I have enough space to work. Then I'm going to take my other pieces of construction paper and I'm going to draw long triangles on them. So starting from the bottom, all the way up, and all the way down. I'm going to make a few different ones because I'd rather make too many than not have enough. Then I'll do some on this page as well. You can use any color paper you want for this and make it as colorful as you want or as purple or blue as you want. These ones are a little smaller than the first ones I drew. That's okay. All right. Once you get those triangles done, we're going to cut them out. One. Now I'll cut these ones out too. Oops. I didn't realize it, but the scraps that I'm making are also going to look like triangles, so that'll be nice if I need extra. So we will count that as one. Alright, one more. Alright, once you get your triangles all cut out, you can take your scraps and put them aside and bring back your hat. So, I'm going to take my tape and just make little bits and put them on the side so that it's easier for me to grab. So that way I can prepare for the next step. Alright, that should be enough for now. So I'm going to take one of my triangles and tape it on the inside of my hat. Alright, and then I'm going to take the triangle and bend it over the side. So that's what it should look like right now. Then I'm going to do the same, and I think I'm going to alternate colors. So next to that dark blue one, I'm going to put a light blue one. Once I get that taped, once again, I'm going to bend it over the side. Alright. And again, need to make some more tape. And I'm back to my light blue color. And bending it over the side. I have room for one more, which works out nicely because it keeps my pattern looking the same. I need one more piece of tape. I'm going to bend that piece over too. So there is our final product. It's a little hat. For our last craft, we're going to make our aluminum foil shields. So you're going to start with your piece of cardboard and you're going to draw any design you want on top. So this is what your shield will look like. I think I want to do the letter M for my name. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that letter. Whatever you choose, you're going to want to make it kind of simple, so that way it's a little bit easier once we glue it. Alright. Once you pick your design and it's drawn on, you're going to take your glue and you're going to glue right along the side, the lines. You're not going to glue anything to it, but you're just going to let that harden. It might take a few layers, so you might have to be patient. For the sake of the video, I'm going to go back and use my hot glue gun for this. So I'm just going to go right along the lines I drew. All right, and once that's glued down, you're going to let it dry. Oops. So while you wait for that to dry, you can cut your piece of aluminum foil. You want it to fit a little bit bigger than your piece of cardboard. So I pre-cut a piece. But this might be a step where you want to ask an adult for help because there is some sharp parts on the container. So once you get your piece of aluminum foil, you're going to take your glue stick and glue all around the outside of your cardboard. This is what's going to hold the aluminum foil in place. Then you're going to take it and place it right on top. With that piece that overhangs, you're just going to fold it behind. This is why it's important to make sure your glue is dry beforehand. Alright, so you can kind of see my design through the aluminum foil. But to make it a little more obvious, I'm going to take my Q-tip and just go right along the raised glue parts. This makes it stand out a little bit more. Oops. Well, it ripped a little bit, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys are doing this a little more gently than I did. So once you get that all pressed down and finished, you should see your design through the aluminum foil. Then you're going to take your permanent markers and color any piece that you want of your shield. So I'm going to color the inside of my M with this blue color. Then I'm going to color the outside with, I'll do some pink. If you want, you can add other designs just by coloring, even though you don't have glue underneath. So I think I'll draw a little flower up here. I'll color that in as well. All right, and there is my final product of my shield. Now that we've finished all 3 of our crafts, let's take a look at our final products. First, we made our cardboard swords. Then, we made our Joker hats. And lastly, we made our aluminum foil shields. Hope you guys enjoyed.